Hello!
Happy
Sibling Shanty Sunday!
I'm Sky.
I'm Sagan.
And we're siblings.
And we sing sea shanties and sea shanty adjacent music.
And it's week 5.
It is week 5.
Yeah! Thanks for sticking around, or if you're new to us this week, welcome. We have more shanties for you this week.
We do have more shanties for you this week. We got 3 more. So the first one that we have for you is a what's called a short drag. A short drag shanty, which is a type of hauling shanty. I wasn't able to find a exact date on this,
which is not uncommon.
Usually the best you can do is sort of like
when was it
century. Yeah, when was it published the first time? When was it collected the first time? Supposedly this one possibly dates back to as far as the 1500s.
Wow.
There's another one we're doing today that for sure dates back to the 1500s, very late 1500s. But yep, throwing it so far back, we're gonna have to take some ibuprofen after this video is over. That far back. Short drag shanties, or also sometimes called short haul shanties, tended to be the shortest shanties sung on the ship.
Very creative about naming things.
Yep. They're used for quick pulls in quick time, for tasks like shortening a sail, raising a masthead. Short drags tended to be lighter work, not like the really big and that sort of thing. And some cases even could be done essentially hand over hand. But still required at least some sense of coordination,
some synchronization
between the trip.
Work, yeah.
But between the crew. I don't know why I said trip. I think I said nope. Never mind. Between the crew in order to get things done in a timely manner. So it's called haul on the Bowline, and we've talked around a little bit about the Bowline before, the king of knots, if you will. And this one is super easy, and it's pure call and response. And interestingly, the response actually the call and the responses actually lead directly into each other. So the response goes, brain fart. So the call goes, it always starts the same way. Haul on the Bowline, and then there'll be a line, and then the refrain that everybody joins in on is haul on the Bowline, haul. And actually, on that haul is usually when the at least one of the hauls would be pulled, but that final haul is also the haul that starts off the next verse.
So
which sounds more complicated
like
than
that.
It actually is.
Yeah.
It'll make a lot more sense when you actually hear
and
the
the
whole
lyrics
thing.
are down below.
Lyrics are down below.
To us. Yep.
So for one more time, that's haul on the Bowline, haul. Just sort of down and up the scale again.
Yep.
I don't know what kind of scale that is.
And it dovetails into the next one. Yep. Ready to give it a shot?
I am. Are you?
I think so.
Let's give it a shot.
Sure.
All right. Haul on the Bowline, homeward we are rowin'. Haul on the Bowline, haul on the Bowline, Kitty is me darlin'. Haul on the Bowline, haul on the Bowline, Kitty comes from Liverpool. Haul on the Bowline, haul on the Bowline, so early in the morning. Haul on the Bowline, haul on the Bowline, the old man he's a-growlin'. Haul on the Bowline, haul on the Bowline, before she starts a-rollin'. Haul on the Bowline, haul on the Bowline, but we don't know where we're going. Haul on the Bowline, haul on the Bowline. bowlin', we don't know where we're sailing from. Haul on the bowlin', the bowlin', haul on the bowlin', the sooner we get going. Haul on the bowlin', the bowlin', haul on the bowlin', well, the third week comes home again. Haul on the bowlin', the bowlin', haul on the bowlin', it's a weary way to home. Haul on the bowlin', the bowlin', haul on the bowlin', it's a far cry to payday. Haul on the bowlin', the bowlin', haul. Yeah! And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice, easy one. I like that, though. I love that it dovetails like that between the sort of the call and the response. Like
yeah,
that
there's almost a hypnotic effect to it. A little bit.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
Throwing it way back for you.
Oh, my bad.
No.
Throw it too far back.
Nope. Is this the one that's really old?
Nope.
Nope.
That's the next one.
Spoiler
After the
alert.
one that we're about to do.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
But
this is a good one
double
too, though.
next one.
Yeah.
Yes. So this one is called Weigh Me Susiana. And this is a pump shanty, which is a type of heaving shanty. Now, pumps on the ship were used for a number of different purposes, but the primary purpose of them was for emptying the bilge, which was the lowest part of the ship. Wooden ships, no matter how well built they were, would inevitably leak. Wood is
porous.
It is. It's a porous material.
Yeah.
So depending on the wood quality and the craftsmanship, some ships would leak more so than others. But you would always, even on the finest ship that ever did sail, you would eventually have to pump out the bilges to get the water out. And so they would have just this gigantic thing. It sort of looked like a seesaw a little bit.
Makes me think of the guys on the railroad tracks.
Yeah, a little bit like that. There were designs that were that could be manned both in a seesaw manner, and then ones that were almost like a giant handle that could
a bellow.
Yeah,
almost. Yeah.
But no matter which one, pumping was a monotonous, joyless job.
Yeah.
And so a lot of pump shanties tend to be actually like super upbeat, super
try to distract themselves.
Try to distract themselves from just this not terribly fun work. It wasn't like not even like necessarily like physically like super taxing tough, but just the pure
well, and plus think about it,
work.
you're inside the ship, so there's nothing to look
at.
Yeah,
in some cases inside the ship. Some of them had them up on the deck, so you're stuck under the sun.
Right. So you're stuck below deck and you have nothing to look at and no breeze and no anything. So like either way, you were just not having a good time.
No, it's not a great time. So we learned this one actually from Stan Hugel's Shanties from the Seven Seas. Why does it look backwards? Oh, because of the camera. Yeah. It'll be frontwards when you see it.
We hope.
And he learned it from one of his various sources throughout the book that he learns actually that he credits quite a number of shanties to is a fellow named Harding from Barbados who had the nickname of the Barbadian Barbarian. Who identified it as a shanty of African origin, which makes sense because one of the things that's mentioned, the next to last verse mentions something called the Barbary coast.
Not a coast where there's lots of barbers,
but a coast where there's lots of Berbers.
Yes.
So the Barbary coast was the name generally used from the 16th to the 19th century. There's not a specific date on this song either, but so the lyrics sort of date it, so we can kind of guess that it came from somewhere in that time period. Now, understandably,
that's a long time.
3 centuries that's a wide net. like not on a cosmic scale, but from a local scale, that's a fairly wide net. But so the Barbary Coast, sometimes called the Barbary Coast or the Berber Coast, was the coastal area of Northwest Africa that had a somewhat volatile political climate and how do we put this? A very healthy and active pirate population.
Yep.
Yes. The Berbers themselves were actually the people indigenous to that area, and that area now includes places like Morocco, the Algiers, Tunisia, that area, and the Berbers. And so as things do when it travels from word of mouth, it evolves and changes and evolves, and became known as primarily as the Barbary Coast. And so it came from that area. So this one there's no chorus. It's just calls and responses. Hit that B flat for me. So there's a call, and then the first response is, "Way me Susiana." And then there's a second response, and then there's a second verse, and then the second response is, "We're all bound over the mountain." Simple enough.
Easy.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's very upbeat. You got to get this one going at a good clip, and just keep the crew's spirits up while they're doing this. Pumping the bill just had to be one of the just perhaps slightly above like swabbing the deck.
Right.
When it comes to things that a pirate or any sailor would like to be assigned to.
Yes.
Any shipboard duty.
But it's got to be done.
Yep.
Because otherwise your ship sinks.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, especially with the villages. Oof. But yeah, that's about all there is to this one.
Ready to give it a try?
I am. Are you?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll heave him up and away we'll go. Way me Susiana. We'll heave him up and away we'll go. We're all bound over the mountain. We'll heave him up from down below. Way me Susiana. For that is where the cocks do crow. We're all bound over the mountain. And when the cocks begin to crow, way me Susiana, 'tis time for me to roll and go. We're all bound over the mountain. Oh, growl ye may, but go ye must. Way me Susiana. If you growl too hard, your head they'll bust. We're all bound over the mountain. The Barbary Coast is no place for me. Way me Susiana. You have one drink, then wake up at sea. We're all bound over the mountain. Oh, rock and shake her one more drag. Way me Susiana. Oh, bend your duds and pack your bags. We're all bound over the mountain. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
And also the second to last verse also makes a slight reference to there is an act that we'll talk about not necessarily later in this episode, but as the series goes on. But the act of press ganging or shanghaiing sailors, the somewhat unscrupulous act of sometimes recruiters would go out and get sailors on board the ships through less than straightforward, ethical, upstanding means.
Yep.
But that's a conversation for a different video.
Yes. And speaking of pirates.
And also the Barbary Coast.
Yes, and also that.
So this one here, our last one, which is called High Barbary, also sometimes called the Coast of High Barbary, or sailing down along the coast of High Barbary.
Depends on how many words you'd like to incorporate into the title.
It really does. If brevity is not your thing, then you can really
call it as many things as you want to. Yep.
So this is the one that actually dates back confirmed to 1559.
At least.
First appeared in sheet music form in 1559. Now, there are actually a lot of different versions of this song. And the events are kind of murky. In sort of the 1559 version, there are like there's two merchant ships, and they're both going along like the same same route.
Basically.
One of them decides to take a break, and the other one keeps going, and then the other one, the first one that took a break, decides to keep sailing, and they catch it to the other one, but like the other one's been taken over by pirates, and like they don't blow it up, but like they beat the pirates and like save everybody on board. It's a little like there's a version of it where it's just one ship and one pirate ship, which is sort of the one that we're doing today. There's one that's actually from the pirates' point of view. There's one where it's like just the two merchant ships, and then like pirates sail up and actually like start a fight with both of them and lose really badly. The Fisherman's Friends actually have a version where it's a single merchant ship that's sailing along sort of at night, and come upon a ghost ship that sort of like out of fear they fire on, and the ghost ship is not bothered by it at all. And they just kind of like sail by, and they're like, he's scared. And the merchant ship's like, yes, we are. So that's enjoyable. Might have to link that one. But
Fisherman's Friends are another Shanty crew that you should definitely know if you are not familiar with them. We'll link some of their stuff below as well.
Yeah.
One of the crews that's sort of responsible for a little bit more wider fame and notoriety for sea shanties and sort of outside of folk circles and things. And there's a great movie as well that's based sort of on their story too, which is really fun. Semi historically accurate. They consulted on it, and actually some of them are in it, which is really fun. But yes, definitely check out Fisherman's Friends if you are not aware of them. Yeah, you should be.
And they're
great.
I was gonna say they sing real good too.
Yeah. And they're still out like touring and doing shows and all that kind of fun stuff, but they're really fun.
So there's a couple of seafaring terms to deal with in this one. So there's a couple of phrases, windward and leeward or lee. And so when you're talking about directions on a ship, or like from a ship's perspective, there's actually a lot of different terms for like where places and things could be, which on one hand allows for like you can give super accurate directions for like exactly where something is. On the other hand, there's like 50 terms to memorize.
What else are you gonna do?
What else are you gonna do?
Months and months at a time.
But so windward is quite literally the direction that the wind is blowing from.
From, yes.
And lee
is the opposite.
Is not. Yeah. It's the direction the wind is blowing to.
Yeah.
So if the wind is blowing like this way, that way's windward and that way's lee.
Yeah.
I can't really demonstrate. I should have brought like a little hand fan. So you just like.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's that.
We're a low budget operation.
We are super low budget operation. There is the what's called a man of war. Man of war isn't necessarily a official designation, but it was a British Royal Navy expression, also primarily during the 16th to 19th centuries, for any warship or frigate that was just like super loaded, ready for battle. In the way that it's used in the song, it's sort of used to identify like whether, hey, are you a pirate ship, or like you like just a legitimate ship.
Yeah, that's just loaded for bear, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The phrase heave to, which I actually think we've used in at least one other shanty, is actually a maneuver of essentially turning the ship into the wind as a way of slowing the vessel's forward progress, as well as fixing the helm and the sail positions so it doesn't have to be steered. Basically, it's a way to park the ship without dropping anchor, and all of the preparations and whatnot that entails.
Or if you're out in the middle of the open ocean, it's not always practical to be able to drop the anchor because it doesn't.
Yeah, it just goes down a real long way.
It won't hit the bottom. So
it's also used to like if the weather gets really bad. Sure. Also used to ride out storms. wait out the tide if conditions aren't favorable, or waiting out an opponent in a naval battle if you're trying to, sort of play mind games with each other, trying to figure out what that is. And finally, so the term for quarter or quarter, if any of you've seen any pirate movie whatsoever, you're probably familiar at least with the phrase "no quarter."
Give them no quarter. Yarr.
It was good.
Yeah, thanks.
It was good. So quarter, to give quarter is sort of comes back to an older wartime tradition that predates even the age of sail, of giving the enemy quarter, or granting them quarter, which would mean to take prisoners after a battle, would be to spare the lives of the enemy that has sort of come into your power, but that didn't just mean put them in chains and then just like sort of leave them there. It was expected that if you took prisoners, that you would shelter and feed them and take care of them and treat them well until they could be ransomed or returned to the other side or something like that. And so to give quarter would essentially literally means to give quarters,
right, to provide quarters
to the enemy.
Yep.
And to give no quarter means the opposite.
Yep.
Is the lee to give quarters windward.
Yeah.
Which is no. We have no room for these. Basically. So that's what that means. So this one doesn't have a chorus, but it has sort of two refrains.
Again, lyrics
are down below. I'm gonna drink some water real quick. Mm-hmm.
This one's really fun.
It is really fun. I drink some water and then I basically drain my cup.
Don't forget to hydrate, kids.
Yep, don't forget to hydrate, kids. That's what I miss most about going out to restaurants. Is having just like 9 glasses of water that's so cold that it makes my teeth hurt. Like when I'm sitting at home, I have to get up and fill my own drink.
Yeah.
I hate that, man. I just want to sit at a table. More water? Yes, please.
And have it just appear.
That's right. I love it. I miss it so much.
Hashtag first world problems.
Hashtag first world problems. There we go. So the first refrain goes, blow high, blow low, and so sailed we. And you can put as much sort of slide into that as you want. It's a 4-bitter about pirates,
Go for it.
Go for it. And then that's what I get for drinking all that water. A sailing down along the coast of high Barbary. A sailing down along the coast of high Barbary. A sailing down along the coast of high Barbary. Make sense?
Yeah, easy. And you can hear in most of, not in all, I wouldn't say in all 4-bitters, but you can hear the difference in the complexity of the melodic material and the rhythmic material in the 4-bitters because they weren't, it was meant to be more entertainment or more not something where you had to be focused on your work in particular.
Right, yeah.
And so you can hear a lot of times, and if you've been watching the last few streams this way of, you can hear in these 4-bitters a little bit more complexity to the line and to the rhythmic material, all those kinds of things. And this is a great example of it. So be patient with yourself if you're new to this. These are the 4-bitters are a little more complicated. But
and High Barbary, definitely, it's a little on the weird side. Honestly, it's a little weird. I think that's part of why I like it so much.
But you'll get it. Don't worry.
Yeah, you'll get it.
Yeah. Ready?
God, what note was that? Yikes. Look ahead, look astern, look the weather in the lee. Blow high, blow low, and so sailed we. I see a wreck to windward and a lofty ship to lee. A sailing down along the coast of high Barbary. Oh, are you a pirate or a man of war? Cried we. blow high, blow low, and so sailed we. Oh no, I'm not a pirate, but a man of war, cried he. A-sailing down along the coast of high Barbary. So back up your topsails and heave your vessel to. Blow high, blow low, and so sail we, for we have got some letters to be carried home by you. A-sailing down along the coast of high Barbary. We'll back up our topsails and heave our vessel to. Blow high, blow low, and so sail we, but only in some harbor and along the side of you. A-sailing down along the coast of high Barbary. For broadside we fought all on the main. Blow high, blow low, and so sail we, until at last the frigate shot the pirates' mast away. A-sailing down along the coast of high Barbary. With cutlass and gun, oh, we fought for hours 3. Blow high, blow low, and so sailed we. Their ship it was the coffin, and the grave it was the sea. A-sailing down along the coast of high Barbary. For quarter, the saucy pirates cried. Blow high, blow low, and so sail we. The quarter that we showed them was to sink them in the tide. A-sailing down along the coast of high Barbary.
Yeah, it doesn't go so well for the pirates.
No,
it
doesn't.
At least
go
in
so
that
well.
version of the story.
No, the frigate was like, right, yeah, we'll
sure you're not pirates.
Sure, we'll heave our vessel too. We'll carry home those letters.
Nope.
Once we're all back in port.
Yeah, it was a trap, but they didn't fall for it. Nope. Well, there you go.
There you go.
Little pirates intrigue for you. So we will link recordings below as always, and links to other cool stuff related to sea shanties, and get your shanty merch below as well. You can click those links. If you have not yet ordered and purchased your Longest John's new album, it just came out Friday. 2 days ago. Friday, yes.
That's 1 day ago.
Well, but we released this on Sundays.
That's right.
Right. Surprise. Sometimes we don't record on Sundays. Depends on what we have time for. So I was trying to time travel.
It's tomorrow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow.
But check out their
hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, check out their new album.
Or did it?
Because it's really great and it came out Friday, and you can download it to stream, or you can order hard copies and all those kinds of things.
Or has it yet?
We'll leave that link below too. But yeah, support all the peeps, do all the stuff, and try to stay in your own timeline, will you? Because otherwise it gets complicated. Anything else?
No, I think I've screwed up enough.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
Well, hey, be safe. We love you. And we'll see you again next Sunday. Bye.
Bye.